Apparently, I'm too late to make a Fast and the Furiosa pun, so we're just gonna go to the review. Just in case you couldn't tell by the play on F and 8, Fate of the Furious is the 8th movie in the Fast and the Furious franchise from way back in 2001, if you can believe it or not. Each one got bigger, each one got dopier, and in my opinion, more fun than the last film. Now we're at the point, though, that Fate of the Furious is too big. And I say that because the signature automobile stunts that have helped define this franchise, such as falling out of a plane with a parachute, has been replaced by CGI because these ridiculous stunts, like driving over the top of a submarine while being chased by a heat-seeking missile, hitting the submarine, and spinning the car, cannot be accomplished practically. So they rely on CGI so much throughout this film, it was hard for me to connect with what was going on because I knew it was fake. However, I don't think that the hand-to-hand combat has ever been better in this series than it is in this movie. And that is made clear the very first scene with Jason Statham and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. When they're in prison and the prison riot breaks out, you get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, every time he punches somebody and breaks a bone, you get satisfying crunches, and then you have a completely other fighting style, Jason Statham, who's doing his martial arts, flipping around, grabbing guns from people, smacking them in the face with their own guns. The back and forth between these two specific fighting styles help freshen up the hand-to-hand choreography throughout the movie so it never feels dull, and it's always satisfying. But not only is The Fate of the Furious the biggest movie in the franchise, it's also the darkest, and tonally, it doesn't match with the other films. But the darker plot points, I don't want to give away too much, but they allow Vin Diesel in particular to take Dom emotionally to places we haven't seen before, and he gives his best performance as Dom in the series yet. Likewise, Charlize Theron, she kind of plays this hacker. Of course she's a hacker in this series, but her villainess character, she doesn't have any inspired goals. She just wants to conquer the world. But Charlize Theron's performance kind of helped compensate for that. And looking at the entire cast, everybody gives a really good performance. Everybody seems just as committed now as they did back in 2001. And I think that's part of the reason this series has sustained so long, is that we love it, the audience, because the people making this film, particularly Vin Diesel, who has become the driving force behind this series, they love it, and we can tell. And in turn, we love it. Thus, 16 years later, Fate. I also want to talk about the ending real quick. This ending is so dumb. They talk about having to suspend your disbelief. Just leave your brain at the door when you walk into the theater for these Fast and Furious movies. Sure, I do that, and I have plenty of fun. However, the biggest I don't buy that moment in this series by far is the very ending of this movie. I don't buy that he's friends with Jason Statham. I just don't. Jason Statham was the villain. He was so bad in the last movie. I don't believe that. Alright, we're buddies now. That was a handshake. That was a terrible handshake. I apologize. But I don't buy it. Hopefully, F9, or Fine and the Furious, or Find the Furious, whatever they call the 9th one, scales back the action a little bit more, particularly with the cars. I'd like to see a return to form of the practical stunt work. And I'd like to see the franchise kind of get back to its family roots more. Have the team be a cohesive team in this one so that we can get that chemistry amongst them that we love so much. And as long as everybody involved still loves what they're doing, I'm game for another one, especially if we're going to go the full run with another trilogy. Just don't give us another dumb ending. I give Fate of the Furious a C+. It's dumb fun, a little too dumb at moments, a little too big, but it's got some great performance. Everybody seems to still love what they're doing, and I kind of still love it for that reason. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this review, don't forget to click the subscribe button below. Give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments. What did you think of Fate? It's at the lowest rating of the last few, in the 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. Still fresh, but it is the lowest. So apparently there is some discrepancies among people. So let me know what you thought. And thanks for watching again, guys. I'll see you on another episode of Movie Minutes. Until then.